Yo, fellas, if y'all want to see me wife a girl that looks like this, or even this, tap in with my Instagram, man. My goal is 10K followers. If y'all active, I will follow back. Come on, y'all. I know we could do it, but hey, here go the vid. We made it. NBA champions. All the hard work, all the trials and tribulations, all the doubters, all the people who said I would never be nothing. They couldn't say nothing to me now. I was an NBA champion. A few years ago, man, I was kicked off the high school team. And now, I completed the biggest achievement at the biggest stage of them all. NBA champion and finals MVP. I was on top of the world, man. Hey, but as y'all know, it's my life. So as soon as it seemed like something going good, something come out the blue, and it's a tragedy. It's crazy how life works sometimes. You can move out the hood, but sometimes that lifestyle still follow you. And I found myself in another one of those situations. But in order for y'all to understand how this happened, we gotta travel back in time. So if y'all was here back in the day, I know y'all remember Lamont. The last time y'all seen him, we was in that rivalry game, and I gave his team work and sent them boys home. Y'all know what happened after that, but the next time I saw him, it was in college. I actually played him again in the March Madness tournament, and he was definitely talking crazy the day before the game. But let me paint the picture for y'all before we get into all that. It was the first round of March Madness, and we had to go against Iowa State. And Lamont wasn't even their star player. That would be their big man. Lamont was like the second option. And at this point in time, we was the 6th seed. I had already committed to the draft, scouts was in attendance, and I was looking to boost my stock. Plus I was playing against my high school rival, so y'all can best believe this game was personal. Like I said, y'all already know that situation that happened after that last rivalry game. And dude was talking crazy before the game too. So I was gonna make sure I'ma show him it's levels. And he's never been on my level. And tonight, he gonna find that out quick. So the first possession of the game, I went straight at him. Got the blow by, drove to the cup, and man, I got hammered. Now, I was one of the best, if not the best, college basketball player in the world. But these boys was treating it like it was WWE. I came here to hoop, not wrestle. That just show you them boys can't guard, man. But hey, it's been a minute since I talked to y'all. So let me remind you, and for the ones that's new here, check it out. When I'm at the line, it's 100% every single time. You already know what it is. I'm not gonna lie though, we started off this game very slow, but this putback by our big man got us that energy we needed. And while that was going on, I got into a little bit of a shoving match with Lamont. I just had to show bruh he was too little. He was talking trash before the box out, so he deserved that one. And you know he from where the drug dealers at. Whole lot of bricks. But I got the board, I was pushing in transition, and I don't know what's y'all favorite type of chips, but me personally, I mess with them barbecue Lays. And I drove straight to the cup, and got me a decent sized bag. But I ain't gonna lie, right after that, they had ended up calling a timeout. And honestly, we needed to go over some stuff. It was a super slow start to the game, and we was the 6th seed. This team wasn't even ranked, so it was unacceptable for us to be starting off this slow against these bums. But honestly, I wasn't even tripping. Y'all know me. Lamont was a pipsqueak, and he couldn't guard me. I hit him with the Euro step and got the easy lay. That thing was crazy. Skipped through the lane, laid it right over their big man. I was telling them, hey man, y'all better put somebody else on me. And y'all already know how I get. Once I get one bucket, it's wraps from there. Drove straight to the cup and had to go ahead and put they big man on the poster real quick. I bet y'all $50 I'll have his girl put that on her wall later. Speaking of girls, I remember before the tournament, Lonnie was nagging me about my passing. She said I need to distribute the ball more, so I also was trying to find my teammates in this game. And on their next possession, Lamont came down, hit a tough mid-range jump shot, and we had to call timeout again. And during that timeout, coach told me to sit down for a little bit. But honestly, I didn't even want to sit on the bench. I ain't gonna lie, I could have played the whole 40 minutes that game. I was just focused on beating this team and showing Lamont its levels, bruh. You could never mess with me. But as soon as I got back in, I was feeling like the K9 unit. I was ready to attack. I went straight at Lamont, and I ended up getting a nice dime to our big man. The second string guys was actually hooping, because when I got back in, we had built up a lead. But shout out to my boy Peter Griffin. Hey Lamont, you dropped something. Got the easy steal. And I had to go crazy on the fast break. Threw that thing off the glass. Hey! And right after that dunk, I stared him down while hanging on the rim. At this point, we was up 16, and we was hooping like we need to do. And I guess they ain't read the scouting report. Boom! Come on, man, you can't let me get open off a down screen like that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, we was definitely starting to run away with this game. I mean, these boys ain't even belong here. They couldn't hoop with us. But every time I got the ball, it felt like the spotlight was just on me and Lamont the whole time. Like they wasn't focused on no other players, just me and him going at it. And I'ma be honest, I was definitely winning the battle by a large margin. And it's crazy cause he was doing all that talking before the game, and now we in the game and he ain't doing too much of nothing. Ain't nobody stopped me yet. But you know, we getting the board, pushing in transition as we usually do. You know that boy Lamont can't stay in front of me for too long. Hey! Got another easy dunk. I ain't gonna lie, I was acting a fool this game. Man, I was trying to dunk everything. Man, I was stumbling into the crowd after I missed that dunk. But coach was telling me to chill out. Just play discipline. We ain't gotta do all that extra stuff. And they big man was starting to cook. I told y'all that was the best player on their team. But hey, I know y'all ain't think I was going for that. Caught him lacking in help side and hey! Yeah, that poster was wicked. I ain't gonna lie. I jumped so high I didn't even see Buddy standing right there. I mean, it was like my head was at the rim. I didn't even see him until the ball went through the basket. And by this point in the game, we was up by almost 20. And I ain't gonna lie, on the next defensive possession, I got caught sleeping and Lamont hit a wide open three. Coach had called timeout and got on my head about that one, but I told him it was all good because I had quarters. Because I put Lamont in the spin cycle like we was at the laundromat. It was too easy. Things was definitely starting to get rowdy though. I mean, they student section was loud and Lamont started hacking. On this play, he definitely pushed me out of bounds. But I guess the ref was an Iowa State fan and didn't want to call it. I mean, you can't really call a force out, but come on, man. He was fouling the whole time. I didn't just run out of bounds by myself. But anyway, I told y'all that big man was tough. He kept cooking the whole game. He was trying to get them boys back in it. But we wasn't going to let that happen. And on this possession, I guess that defender ain't a fan of Pop-Tarts. But it's cool though. He must be a fan of barbecue Lays. But man, back on the defensive end, our bigs was struggling. We could not stop their best player. I mean, he was getting whatever he wanted. And I couldn't switch on to him because I already told coach I wanted to guard Lamont the whole game. But it was all good. I got the board. We pushing in transition like we normally do. Had to move him out the way because he too little, and I got the and one bucket. Hey man, that layup was crazy. You know I had to switch it up and put some finesse on it. Hey, what y'all have for breakfast? Man, I had some eggs, bacon, and I also had some toast. But you can't forget about the jelly though. I've been telling y'all from the jump. These boys cannot guard me out here. They can't do nothing with me. On the next possession on defense, ended up getting another steal. Wasn't nobody in front of me. So you know I had to go crazy again on the rim. Hey! I was looking like young MJ with that cradle dunk. And after that, I was hyped. I already knew we was finna move on to the next round in March Madness. I guess Lamont was learning his lesson. Hey, you don't start nothing, but you finish everything. The next time he was guarding me, I basically told him, hey bro, you can't with me. And he said if he catch me outside of this, it's gonna be up there. But at the time, I ain't think nothing of it. I honestly wasn't worried about it. I was too busy trying to chase this national championship, and I was already committed to the draft. I was finna be in the league. I ain't had time to worry about this dude and what he was talking about. He ain't never did nothing anyway. Y'all know it was his peoples that did it. And with 56 seconds to go, after they hit this last free throw, coach said that was enough for the starters. Subbed us out for some of the bench players, and we had got the dub over them boys easy. And we almost won by 20. But I ain't gonna lie. On my way back to the locker room, I was happy we got the dub, but I was thinking, should I be taking Lamont seriously? I mean, y'all already know what happened after the last time we played. Plus, I got the NBA in front of me, endorsement deals in front of me. I ain't got time for nothing extra. So I hope this wasn't gonna lead to nothing crazy. After winning the championship, during the off season, I wanted to donate some money to the rec center that was close to my crib. I guess it got a lot of media coverage, and Lamont and his people on the east side, they knew I was gonna be there. And man, y'all already know what happened next after this. Me and my brother were walking out, and I guess I just didn't see the car. And then next thing you know, shots was flying. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I thought I got hit in my shoulder. So the next day I checked myself in the hospital just to make sure everything was good. And luckily, it was only just a graze. I ain't get hit for real. Now the dude in the car had a mask on, but I already know who sent him. I already know Lamont was behind it. And honestly, I was getting tired of this stuff, man. It seemed like I couldn't shake this lifestyle. Only reason I came back home was to give back. But man, I couldn't even do that without getting shot at. It's a shame. I know y'all probably thinking it was a minor setback for a major comeback and everything cool. But man, little did I know, my whole world was gonna come crashing down. A few days later, I got the worst news of my life. The Bulls had decided to release me. I guess after having a previous situation in high school and now another one in the NBA, they consider me a flight risk. And the GM, he wanted no parts of that. It seemed like the whole world was shocked, and so was I. I was in my room staring out the window for hours, and I couldn't stop thinking about the situation. I mean, it really could have been prevented, and everything I worked for, it had been taken from me that fast. Despite winning the NBA championship and all that, one situation ruined the whole thing. Man, I was stressing, pacing back and forth in my room for hours. But hey man, that just go to show y'all, when you get to a high status, you gotta watch how you moving. But honestly, I ain't know what the future will hold for me. But despite all the stuff that was going on, my agent informed me it was still possible for a team to pick me up. So technically, my NBA dreams wasn't over. It was just a matter of who decided to take a chance on me. All I needed was another opportunity, but this time, I can't let nothing get in my way. Next thing you know, I was back on the court, but only this time, I wasn't in the black and red. I was in the blue and red. Blue, red, and white, actually. I'm a member of the Wizards now, and I know what y'all thinking. This one of the worst teams in the league. Why would you even be happy about going here? But hey man, I was just happy to beat all the stuff that was going on and get back on the court. Now I know this wasn't gonna be the best situation, but hey, maybe I can turn this whole thing around. During practice, I could see that some of these dudes was really talented. I mean, we had Jordan Poole and Kuzma, and I had the championship DNA, so maybe we could make it to the playoffs this year. I had extra motivation this season. My team gave up on me, and I was being painted as the villain. So I mean, why not accept that role and try to go out here and do what I do? And before the first game, I got a phone call from one of my close friends.
Hey bro, listen. Take all of this negative energy, turn it into a positive. This comes with the game. You've been hated basically all your life. High school, college, now at the highest level. At the end of the day, people back in the hood don't want to even see you win, bro. Whether you're trying to give back or not. Listen, you the villain now. If you ask me, I take it personally. You got a new opportunity. Now go show everybody that championship wasn't a fluke. And show them you're the best player in the league. Love, bro.
And just like that, here we are. My sophomore season in the league. Only this time, I'm in a different jersey. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I was filled with a lot of different emotions. I was angry, excited, happy, whatever you could think of. But hey, it's time to go out here and handle business. I gotta put everything that's in the past behind me. And I'm coming off a championship and a finals MVP. And you heard what my bro said. Hey, I gotta show them that wasn't a fluke. So as soon as that tip-off happened, I was locked in. I was ready to go. We had to go up against the Pacers. They had Siakam and Halliburton. But hey, y'all know me. I don't care if they had King Kong and Godzilla. I was finna come out here and get straight to the buckets. And on the first play of the game, got some barbecue lays right over Halliburton. And we picking up right where we left off. I'm in MVP mode. I'm not gonna lie to y'all though. It definitely was a struggle getting used to things at first. See, one thing people don't tell you, when you get on a new team, it's an adjustment. It's a whole new system, and you got a bunch of different players. And I'll be honest, we most definitely had way more talent on that Bulls team. I mean, but that's expected though. We just won a championship as I drive in and get the tough layup. And I'm gonna be honest, when we used to play the Wizards last year, man, we wouldn't even take these boys serious. We would just circle it as an automatic dub on the calendar. So I already knew what other teams thought of us. So hey, we gotta come out here and hoop. And the best way to do it is to get these boys a Pop-Tart. Got Halliburton with the pump fake, drove in, and I tried to slam it over Miles Turner. But hey, I'm a little rusty. It's been a minute. Ended up missing that dunk, and I almost got injured, I ain't gonna lie. And right after that play, I looked over at the bench, and I could already tell Coach wasn't rocking with that. I guess that was a pretty bad way to give a first impression. But it's all good though, because there's a whole lot of more basketball left to play. And up in the second quarter, we had a small lead over the Pacers. And you already know, I was finding them shooters. Hey man, new team, same dimes. Ain't nothing changed. And what also ain't changed is me getting the board and pushing in transition. And I ended up getting a crazy poster dunk on a pipsqueak. And I'm not gonna lie, this dude right here, he was a walking lick. The whole game, I was giving this boy wreck. I mean, this dude was barely 6 foot and probably about $180. I ain't gonna lie, he ain't stand a chance. Just like me alone in a room with Violet Myers. Hey man, I told y'all he too little. As the second quarter went on, man, this game was close. But I was still looking to attack. And on the very next possession, I ended up getting another poster right over Halliburton. Hey, Coach was tripping on me trying to dunk on people earlier, but now, I think I got the stamp of approval. I mean, I had to remind that boy I was still him. Hey, what's y'all favorite type of cookies? Me, I prefer Oreos, as I got the steal on Halliburton, drove to the lane, and got the tough Euro late. I mean, it wasn't even halftime yet, and I was already starting to heat up. This debut was finna go crazy. Hey man, we gotta keep it going though. And on the very next possession, I called for a screen, and I guess these boys forgot I was a shooter. I hit a step back, man, I was wide open for the three. And just like that, boom! I knocked it down with ease. I mean, y'all know how I do. I'ma get to the cup, but that shot ain't going nowhere. But hey, y'all know what's better than one big booty Latina? Boom! Two big booty Latinas as I hit my second three of the game. And by this point, it was the start of the third quarter. And man, the Pacers was kind of cutting it close. That boy Halliburton even got me on the back cut. I ain't gonna lie, I was sleeping though. On the very next possession, I called for a screen, drove to the cup, and I got a tough finish. Hey, I better put somebody else on me. But them boys ended up taking the first lead of the game. Caught the ball at the top. I had Halliburton on me and hey! Drove right past that boy. And I caught they big man lacking in help side. Hey man, this was like my third poster of the game. This reminded me of that college Corey Cash. I was trying to put the league on notice all game, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to get buckets, but I also wanted to win. And that boy Siakam ended up hitting a crazy contested three over me. Hey, that boy was different. I see why the Pacers picked him up. Hey, but that don't mean nothing. They ain't got me on their team. And if you going up against me, hey, you betting against yourself. As I get the steal on Buddy Hield and pass it to JP. I ain't gonna lie, my dude Jordan was cool. But hey, I had to tell him, if you get out of line, I'm gonna do you like Draymond. And it's gonna be worse. If I hit you, you're gonna be in the hospital for a few weeks. As Halliburton hit the three, but we still got a 3-point lead though, I ain't tripping. Drove to the cup, got a nice little Euro reverse lay. Better tell them boys about them barbecue chips. And then they put this lick back in the game. Should've left them out, to be honest. I was wide open on the break, threw that thing off the glass, and hey! I had like 6 dunks at this point. Hey, y'all can't lie, man. I was putting on a show for the first game of the season. But the game ain't over. We still got work to do. And we only had a 1-point lead. But then I drove to the cup and got like my 7th dunk of the game. I was really going crazy. The Pacers might want to call the Army, the Air Force, the military, the National Guard. And you gonna need all of them to stop me. And you should probably also release this point guard. I mean, at this point, I had like 3 steals on Buddy alone. And on this next possession, I had one of the best plays of my life. That same dude kept guarding me, so I decided to ice on him. I was at the wing, drove on him, had to bump him because he was way too little. And then I rose up and hit a windmill. Hey! I'm not gonna lie, that was sick. And that dunk gave us the momentum we needed. So I called for the ball again. I was on fire. And oh my Jesus Christ, what was that move? I hit Halliburton with something crazy, bumped him, and then got the tough finish at the rim. Hey man, I was going so crazy, I'm out here creating new moves. And I was pushing people around the whole game. They need to get in the weight room. Unfortunately, I missed that layup, but they had the lick dribbling the ball. You know, I stole it from him and got the easy dunk right over him. I'm not gonna lie, if he still got a contract after this game, the NBA need to look at theyself in the mirror and question everything they doing. And with 1:31 left to go, we had a sizable lead, so coach subbed me out, and we ended up getting a dub by 19. It was a great way to start the season. New team, new situation. Hey, but I still had that winning mindset. And I was telling JP on the way to the locker room, hey, we might have something brewing here. I know we played the Pacers and they ain't that much comp, but hey, we can build off this. And on top of that, I ended up dropping 54. Yeah, I know. Crazy for a debut. Well, if you made it this far, you made it to the end of the video. I appreciate y'all boys for tuning in. And I know it's been a minute, but I'm back now. We finna go crazy this season. But I don't know, man. It seemed like I got a much bigger workload now that I'm on this team. But I ain't tripping. It's a revenge season. And hopefully, it'll all pay off in the end. I'm gonna catch y'all boys in the next one.